Hello, wonderful humans of Earth. I am Jimmy Tripp, also known as Brainwave, or Brainwave, also known as Jimmy Tripp, and I am making a tutorial today. Yes, I am. This one is on one of my favorite soft clipper plugins ever, and it happens to also be a free soft clipper plugin. Yes, and it is called Clipmax. I love it so much, among many others. G-Clip, Clip Freak, just to name a few. But Clipmax in particular seems to be very good on master buses, especially if what you are going for with your sound is an intentional wall of sound, sonically speaking. Sonic the Hedgehog. Right. Sonic says, gotta go fast. All right, so I'm going to show an example of this in action by comparing and contrasting one of my older tracks that, you know, some of you may or may not be familiar with, who knows, released it 8 months ago or so, called Applicable Geometrics, with a work in progress that I have been making lately that is unmastered currently, has no master effects on whatsoever, as you can tell by the peaks going on here. Now, of course, this approach that I'm about to show you is this technique, whatever approach, like whatever you want to call it, is not surefire. It's not perfect. It's not going to be a solution for every single track of yours. But if you're going for that like intentional wall of sound where everything is just pushed to the front, this works pretty well, because let's say you have 3 decibels going over, you got like peaks, right? Your peaks and whatnot. Let's say that you save 3 decibels of that headroom by just simply honing in on those peaks using this plugin or a soft clipper of choice. You don't even have to use Clipmax. I just like how Clipmax happens to sound, and it really seems to maintain the original idea or vision, I guess, of the audio that was going into it in the first place. So first we're going to play it without the effect on the channel whatsoever. Now we're going to play the mastered Applicable Geometrics track that I released forever ago now, like 8 months ago. So as you can see, there's a lot more compression going on. Everything seems pushed more towards the front and is just like a bit louder, like a wall of sound. Whereas the work in progress I'm making, you can tell it's getting a bit peakier. It even gets closer to like -4 decibels rather than -6 for true peak. And so very, very interesting stuff. Obviously this is no substitute, I should say, for actual mastering. This is no substitute for just working on the mix more. But it's a pretty cool technique. I'm going to say it. Like it's pretty neat. This is something that I wished long ago someone would have told me you could just do on a master. If you're trying to get a really quick, pushed wall of sound, like just, you know, sound bass in your face, like just kind of sound or something like that. I don't know. So here we're going to take that work in progress again, the My Painful Teacher one. And now with Clipmax on. now we can even play it side by side with that effect turned on, side by side with applicable geometrics. Yeah, so it's really interesting. It's actually very close. It's incredibly close in terms of like perceived loudness, like RMS or LUFS, which I think is very interesting because it's only one plugin. It's literally just Clipmax on that master, Clipmax on that one unmastered audio file. Again, it's no substitute for actual mastering or just working on the mix more and then going into actual mastering. But for one plugin, I mean, I would say that that's kind of fascinating. I mean, so I can show you what's actually happening with the plugin. So we brought this right here, which is the ceiling knob, down to about negative 10.56 decibels for the ceiling, and it's really honing in on the peaks now. Remember that when it's off, it sounds and looks like this. A lot more dynamic range happening here. And then when it's on, and from here, you can get even crazier with it if you so desire or so choose to do, or to do so. Grammar. You can like boost this if you really want. Boost the incoming gain to really get it to be like this wacky wall of sound and increase the LUFS or get the LUFS to be even louder than this, if that's what you're going for. If you're planning to, put this on SoundCloud or something, put your track on SoundCloud and get it really, really, really loud. So like, for example, so that's pretty loud. I mean, that's pretty loud. We jacked up the gain 4.99 decibels. That's almost 5 decibels. And it's still not surpassing the threshold that we have set, the ceiling that we have set here. And for that to be at negative 6 decibels, but have an LUFS readout of negative 8 LUFS, I mean, that's pretty whopping loud in terms of like perceived loudness, overall perceived loudness. So I think that that's just kind of a neat thing that you can do if you're going for loudness quickly without thinking so much or putting so much more thought into like the actual master behind it, the actual polish or detail behind it, the mix, so to speak. But again, no substitute for, actually working on the mix down and like, real like good mastering stuff. Like, so I don't know, it's just a thought, and it's just, obviously it's something that you can try for yourself, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Don't have to do it if you don't like it. If you do like it and find a lot of value in this, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like, leave a share, subscribe if you so feel like it. Anything helps. Because I'm starving. No, I'm not actually starving, but like, yeah. So, if you bring the post gain knob here back up to around -0 peak level for the decibel readout of the master itself, if you were to bring this up now 6 decibels, you can imagine that adding 6 or subtracting, because it's really weird with LUFS, that -8 LUFS would actually be -2 LUFS. This would be as loud as about -2 LUFS at the moment as it currently is with this pre-gain knob being jacked up almost 5 dB through to the into the ceiling, being where the ceiling is set currently. So very loud, as you can see, very, very loud. -2 LUFS is pretty loud. So I mean, yeah, it's just some food for thought. Let me know what you think. And with that, I shall see you guys in the next tutorial. Yes. Bye!